Listen to Dungeons with Dudes, a podcast with dudes. Dungeons, Dragons, and Flagons. Every other Sunday on the Journey into Comics Network.
The following
Journey into Comics.
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 Journey into Comics
Network
production.
I'm a dude who likes brews. It's time for Brews with Dudes. Juicy. And welcome back to Brews with Dudes. I'm your host, Nick Maxon, sitting here with a slew of dudes. Good crew. A slew of dudes. Yeah, that doesn't sound very good.
I like it though.
Yeah,
We're about to get down.
we're gonna smash shumbiash. Sitting here with Casey Taylor,
How we doing? Feeling good?
feeling real good.
Feeling thirsty.
I am feeling thirsty. Sitting down here at the North End Pub. This is our Quaff On tap takeover. I've only had a few beers from Quaff On, but I've enjoyed them very much. So I'm pretty excited to dive into these. Sitting here with Austin once again.
Hello.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing quite well.
Good.
I'm doing quaff well.
I'm doing great.
Terrible.
That was bad. I'm finally feeling better.
I'm nauseated now.
Good.
I got a little too drunk last night at pinball. Stayed up a little too late, rewatching Game of Thrones. And I had to go to work early. And I told myself, it's gonna be fine. I'm doing grunt work. I can just zone out and be hungover as fuck. I walk in. He goes, "Hey man, I'm gonna try you out in the office today." So I have to go call customers and deal with customers. The one time I decided to come in hungover as fuck. So the first half of the day was very rough. I'll say that at least. So, and we've also got Mr. Dongo Richie here.
What's up?
Bringing some beer.
Yeah,
Some beer.
I'm ready to start this
is some
weekend.
good beer.
Yes, it's a long
I've got
weekend.
one of the ones we're going to sample right now, but I'm not going to tell you which one.
We're
because that'll
definitely
be
starting
for
this
later.
weekend off right.
Yes. So we got this going on. We're gonna be playing some Smash Bros after this.
We are.
I'm pretty excited. I'm a little rusty, admittedly, but I got to get my chops back up for LaffyCon because we're doing another tournament. I also need to get my chops back up on Mario Kart because I've got a big challenge coming up.
Yeah, you do.
We also got to get our chops up on actual Mario Kart go-karts,
Yes,
too.
because Austin and I are going to race go-karts in a Mario-themed race.
Because you and Nate have a challenge?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nate is...
Very confident.
He's very...
Just
confrontational. I'm like people just say yeah, Nick's good, and he goes, I am better than him. I will destroy you. And he sends a fucking litmus test to me. He's like, I just want to make sure that you 3-starred everything on 150. I'm like, are you trying to see if I'm worthy enough to challenge you? He's like, I'm just making sure, man. I don't want to. I'm like, Nate, shush.
I'm looking out so he doesn't embarrass you. That's what he's doing.
Dude,
Or he's going to go older brother and just smack it out of your hand and just keep driving, do that old mode.
I don't know. We've done some wild challenges, like one time instead of don't drink and drive, where you have to finish a beer during the race, but you can't be accelerating. So you're racing, you get ahead, or you fall off the track and you drop the controller. You have to finish your beer. We've done different challenges where you have to drink that beer and take a shot before the race is done. And we're talking about a 1.5, 2-minute race. And every time we do that, we get absolutely lit. Every time.
We're actually been working on putting in the works for a live action Don't Drink and Drive. With that, we're working on getting
For a long time.
That sounds
oversized
so
bikes.
That's one of the infamous Nick Maxon, where for like a show, when we used to do shows at the house, I would say like, come to the show. We're gonna have balloons and clowns and a bouncy house and a fucking rocket ship and shit like that. And I said we're gonna have go-karts, and a couple people will not let me live it down because I never brought the go-karts. I want them. I went to go buy them because I figured I could rent them. There's no place to rent go-karts, and they cost like $1,000.
Yeah, like just for like a base line, just street
Yeah.
cart is like $1,000, like minimum.
So that's I feel like we've got seriously a list of like 15 good / ridiculous ideas. And we move on them. Like we move on our ridiculous ideas. Like Boner Jovi is a good example. Just a joke that went too far. Huge, the Donald Trump band. That thing. I'm gonna say it right here. I've got a full group of people committed to veggie metal.
Veggie metal.
So that joke is like that's coming to life.
It's on its way.
What exactly is veggie metal?
So we were joking around the other night. I'm gonna try to recount it because I don't remember exactly how it happened. But my 7-year-old, we'll catch him singing. And he's got a beautiful little voice. He's got good vibrato. It's awesome. And I was telling him, I'm like, you gonna sing in a band one day like your dad? And he's like, and I was like, well, I guess with that voice you would be singing in a band, but I could teach you how to do it like Dad does it. So we were joking around with that a little bit. I was doing my voice and shit like that. And eventually we started singing Veggie Tales, and I just said it out loud. I was like that would be pretty cool to do heavy metal versions of these songs. And then Jess and I we were doing a little bit of drinking, so we were half lit. And I was like, "Hey Jess, can you Photoshop my face on Larry the Cucumber?" And she finds the wrong picture, admittedly, because I was just going to use one with Larry and Bob, but she finds one with like 7 of the different Veggie Tales. And she's like, "Well, which face do you want to be on?" I'm like, "Jess, there's 7 of them. There's 7 stupid faces that I've made." She's like, "You're goddamn right." So
I liked it. It was fun. I love each
Accurate.
individual face on
Yeah.
each veggie.
just totally.
It made me laugh.
Yeah.
I scrolled through and saw it. It made me laugh.
So we're getting off a little bit. Another fun one that doesn't have to do with music. Dodgeball. We talked about doing a dodgeball league for a long time. That's getting ready to come to life. We've been talking about doing go-karts for a while. Like that's gonna come to life. We come up with we have a lot of ideas, and we're like, we don't have time for that. And somehow we still fucking do it. I don't know. A lot of fun
They might be
ideas.
clusterfucks, but they get done.
Yes. Field Day is the best
Yeah.
example. I like how Field Day has progressively gotten worse because I'm like, I'm partying too. And I think sometimes like I don't have a whole lot to do with these things, with the shows and stuff. I'm like, I book it and I set it up. But seriously, if I'm not paying attention to what's going on, everything will fall apart. How? Why? I don't know. It will. It looks like I'm just standing there, but somehow me standing there paying attention keeps it together. In Field Day, first year, great. Second year was pretty good too. And I remember this last year was just a shit show.
Well, there was that one dickweed that came early and was.
Oh, yeah, he
literally-
was just-
I mean, I showed up early and he was wasted when I got there.
Yeah, he was ultimate party crasher. Everybody was like legitimately trying to hide from him.
So,
for
like-
most of the day.
We probably
That's what I
had.
think it is, right?
Hey,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you
Hey, man.
got a team yet? You got a team yet? You got a
Oh,
team
yeah.
yet?
I'm trying to beat Nick's ass.
Yeah, like,
Oh,
I remember
yeah.
looking
Hey,
at,
who
like,
wants to do shots of
you're
gin? I got a
at
gallon of gin.
Nick's house, right? Like, Nick's
Yeah,
the
this-
nice guy throwing the
This
party.
isn't the
There's-
first, second, third, or fourth time either.
So Casey, you've got a venue. You've had thousands and thousands of people come through here. My house, I probably had several hundred, if not thousands, of different people. And if you asked me who the worst was, that guy would definitely come to mind, and it probably top 3 of thousands of people that I've met. This was the first time that we'd done a show at the house in over a year. And I put the event up, and I was like, one of those awful fucking people is going to show up. And sure fucking enough, event starts at 2 in the afternoon. He's Ubered there, half drunk already. I was like, I want to tell you to get back in the car and leave. It's so bad. But maybe field day will be a private event henceforth. Wow, that is the longest we've gone
Without drinking.
drinking. Okay.
Well, I've been drinking a beer, but we haven't been busting down and getting into these.
So Casey, what's the first one that we got?
It's their 6 Foot Blonde. So very light in color. It's their blonde ale.
While we've still got it in the cup, this one here is the strawberry. It's the same beer, but
Yes.
strawberry version. So you can see the color difference there. Looks like there's a little bit of strawberry flavor. All right,
Strawberry.
let's dive in. Casey's already done.
Cheers.
You guys have the pints. I literally had been sip on the sample the last 15 minutes.
This is extremely light.
Very light.
It's good. This is a summer beer.
Yeah.
This is
definitely.
you could crush these.
The first 3 are really summer
This is one of the.
beers.
This is definitely like just got done screwing around in the yard, and
Yep.
you don't really want to water because you've just been pounding that all day anyway outside, and you want something just to really sit down with.
This past summer was the first time that I have drank a beer while mowing the lawn, and it is liberating as
Oh, yeah.
fuck.
That's a big time dad move.
Shirtless mowing the lawn with a beer is one of my favorite parts about being an American.
Well, that's always
Truly.
my favorite meme of last summer was the one that it has said, I just witnessed a dad on a riding lawnmower drinking a beer, finger pistoling another dad, pushing a lawnmower, not drinking a beer, and thought, wow, what a fucking power move.
Wow.
Nothing says like I'm the man and you're not, like you're
Alpha.
pushing around.
Cruising by
fucking
at 5
alpha
miles an hour.
lawnmower, I'm riding one and drinking this beer and I'm going to finger pistol you. Bang,
Awesome.
bang.
I thought about getting a riding mower for my lawn, which would also mean I only mow my lawn in 5 minutes.
Yeah, right.
But you know how much of a power move that would be to me and against all my neighbors.
Yeah, you're flexing on the neighborhood for
Right.
sure.
Yeah, and I'll probably drink a tall boy while I'm at it. Not one of the 12 ounces, a full on just fucking tall boy,
Dude,
frosty
bomber.
cold can,
Russian Imperial Stout.
just full up the whole time. I wouldn't be.
Oh
I
my
wouldn't have. I
God.
wouldn't have to. I'd have to do that to be able to finish it in time. Just like straight up pull up, and I just drive like 2 circles around my lawn,
Scare
and I'm
the
done.
shit out of your neighbors. Do 40 ounces of freedom. Double duct tape on the rotting lawn.
Holy
The cops
shit.
would be there in 5 minutes for sure.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I'd probably drive off my retaining wall.
But just could you imagine driving by and seeing a dude doing 40 ounces of freedom while driving a riding lawnmower?
40 ounce to freedom. What is this?
Edward
Oh.
40
Edward 40
Oh,
hands.
it's Edward
Yeah.
40 hands. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm familiar.
Yeah.
I haven't played that in a while.
While drive, that's
While
Well,
mowing the
buckle
lawn.
up.
how you get arrested right there.
I've got an uncanny ability to drink beer really, really fast without realizing it. Like not trying to power move, and I don't like chug it, but it's like I'll be sitting there and take a drink, and then I'm just absolutely fucking wasted.
It's
Well, it's going to segue to the next one because the next one you could drink in about 3 gulps.
That's the one I've got in my pint here, my companion
let's,
beer.
Give a shout out to people saying hey. We got Stephen Fox saying what up, guys. What's up, Stephen Fox?
Steven is opening up a Books and Brews in Noblesville. I believe that's it. Steven's good friends with Dana, the drummer in my band.
Oh, right.
We'd be plugged.
And then we got John Ruiz Jr. said their porter is fire. Yeah, the busted knuckle is really good. I've had it before. Got a couple people tuned in. Got Jason Hill, my cousin. What's up, cuz? Mr. David Linder.
David Linder.
Dave Linder, good for you, buddy.
he just texted me a
They gave
little
us
bit
a bunch
ago.
of triple XL shirts. Got one with your name on it.
There
buddy.
we go.
Boom.
He just
then,
texted me a little bit ago saying, I'm sorry I can't make it to the Tap Takeover. I love you all.
Good.
We do love Dave.
Dave is
We
wholesome.
love Dave.
And then a guy I know from work, Haynes Yunt. He's a pretty cool guy. What's up, Hayes? For the longest time, I thought everybody called him Hayes, and I thought it was his last name. So I was like, so what's your first name?
His
He
name
goes,
is Hayes?
Hayes, yeah.
Weird.
It's a cool name.
With a Y? H?
Hayes. Hayes.
Did you feel like an idiot? Like, dude, everyone says my first name constantly.
No, then afterwards I just went with it, and I was like, I'm just gonna keep fucking with him. I was like, what is your name? Like Gaylord or fucking?
So his last name's Yunt?
Yunt.
See, when I worked at Monocles, we would have somebody by the last name Yunt, and they were an asshole. So we'd be like, "Oh, what a Yunt."
This is the strawberry
6 foot blonde.
6 foot blonde.
Which we have on tap right now. The first one, the blonde ale, we have in bottle, but this is on tap.
This actually tastes better than when I first sampled it when I got here.
It's got that like rosé color.
Because I feel like that was kind of like the top of the keg, and now we've actually hit into the keg, and this is actually, because the first one was really just like too thick.
I know what you mean. My pint tastes like that, and this one tastes better. I think this one. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe it had settled weird.
Yeah, this has actually that like light crispness to it.
I don't get Christmas from it.
Yeah, I don't know. The nice rosé and.
I guess you're right. I had one of these
like a nice rosé Christmas.
On the way to the 450 North Corn Maze Beer Fest, and that was my breakfast, and it was good. It's
a good beer.
4%.
Yeah, it's light too.
It's not very high alcohol content at all.
We're gonna say the drinking game at home, so you can take a drink. Crushable.
Crushable.
Every time you say the word crushable,
very crushable.
You can take a drink.
Speaking of the folks listening, watching, we are doing a ticket giveaway for the Lafayette Brews and Bowling Festival, Saturday, June 1st, between, it's going to be in the parking lot in front of North End Pub.
It's a very large parking lot. There's going to be quite a gathering of breweries.
We got, I think we're just going to say fuck it, and we're going to have music all day. I was just going to have 2 or 3 bands during the day, and then 2 or 3 bands at night. But I'm going to say fuck it, I think, and just have music start and have a band on the hour. And then we were going to try to get a big band to perform the after party. I'm not getting responses, so we might make it one of those banger shows where we try to get all the locals and just have a, like we did with the 100th show, or where we have like fucking 6 bands that are just the dudes. Like,
that's one of the things. If you haven't come out and listened to the music, dude, we do have a ton of good local bands. Like if you literally just put a local lineup, dude, they would murder it.
And this is going to be fucking like a perfect sampling, because I really think like when you have a bigger city like an Indy or Chicago, there can be somewhat of an oversaturation where there's just so many bands. But what I love about Lafayette, both in the heavy metal and not heavy metal, is that we have a really good band to represent every genre. Lucifist, excellent thrash band. Antiqua Arcana, they're great black metal. Yesterday's Chips, great punk band. Mound Builders, sludge. We got Shiza, who does bluesy kind of rock. And then we've got fucking Frank Muffin.
Got Robert Kelsey, what's his name? Michael Kelsey.
Yeah.
He's very good, just like solo instrumental guy, like very kind of jammy, like uses all kinds of things, uses guitars more than just playing strings, uses drums and all kinds of stuff. It's just
Laurelin. They're fucking awesome.
Yeah, Laurelin.
Well, that was like when Tony, there was that article like about the Lafayette Theater and the city buying it, and Tony made a comment like there's not much of a music scene, and it was like James and a bunch of people jumped up. It was like, whoa, dude, there's plenty of a music scene. It may not be 50-year-old dudes playing classic rock covers, and that may be what you're into, but I think he said that weekend that he made that comment, there was 14 separate venues that had live music.
Yeah.
And it's like Lafayette does have a good music scene. You just have to go out and actually support it.
It takes absolutely
what you think it is.
Yeah.
Nothing to get involved with it.
And it's more of a not quite just going out and supporting it, it's just paying attention. Just
Yeah.
Just put an ear out. Start. Just
If you
look.
go-
all you have to do is just go. Man, I'd really like to see some live music. Well, let's go see what's going on at at these
Go
different
downtown.
venues. Let's go
Anywhere.
downtown.
Go
and
eat
check
dinner.
out-
Go eat dinner at Bobby T's or at
Go to
DT's
go to
Herbies.
Digby's any
starts
Saturday
doing
night.
their outdoor stuff. Preston's has bands on their patio.
Knickerbocker
the
has
Spot
stuff in
always
their
has good stuff. We got good stuff. I mean, there's a lot of
James,
places. You can go
James does I called him James. Jim Voles, he does a show at People's every single Tuesday, no miss. And now every single Friday
The Bacher always has
at
music.
the Bacher.
Yeah, they always have music.
It's called People's Live. That's why Dave's not here. So just that alone, I know we do a lot of shows that are a little more sporadic, but Jim straight up 2 shows every single week, no fucking miss. And that's just and they're totally different things. Like at People's, it's more. What would you say?
It's more of like a laid back kind of.
Americana kind of.
Americana, like really, really like 60s rock kind of feel sometimes.
I don't know, but it's
Not quite
distinct, different shows. So I
And
don't know.
sometimes they have stuff that kind of like mixes it up a little bit, one way or the other. But a lot of it's just really like that stuff where you just sit in, like you'd imagine yourself just sitting down somewhere having a beer, and you just kind of have that band playing off in the corner.
I think a fun way to describe the People's Live shows, or not the People's Live, the at People's itself, is every single band that plays is a touring band, possibly living in their van, and they're all super really nice people.
Which we have that too, and I always think it's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Good for
If
them
you-
out there doing it.
If you ever see us booking a show that's not on a Friday or Saturday, it is a traveling band, and very, very seldom do we say no. Are we gonna have huge turnouts? No, not all the time. Fuck Casey, we had a show last fall where there was like 5 people, and it was like, whatever. You know what those people wanted to do? They did not want to sit in their van that night. So even though they played to 5 fucking people, you're giving people the chance.
Well, the others
So-
just come out and see, because you never know what you're going to like. You never know. I mean, no one has the time to literally find out every underground band. That's part of it, is go check it out, go to the venues, and you might fall in love. You might see a band and be like, dude, they were awesome.
Some of the biggest gems have been those weird weekday shows. Trying
The
to
one
think.
you just had like a month ago, the one with the almost Swedish name, dude, that had a good turnout, and people
Yeah.
loved it. What was it?
Oh my
Van
goodness!
Gogh. Yeah.
Van Goose.
Yeah,
Van Goose.
They were
Totally
like
weird.
They're awesome. They were amazing.
It was totally different.
Wednesday
I'm
night.
trying.
It was a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
The dude was standing up drumming.
Yeah,
Don't think I've
he
seen
was
that.
standing
Yeah, they
up.
didn't have a drummer. They had two guys making it work. Like the one guy had the bass and
Yeah.
the snare, and he was like they were both standing. They were wild.
Well, they had the bassist, and then he had the snare and the kick and the bass drum, and I think he might have had another cymbal. There was another guy with like some toms and a cymbal. There's a bassist. There's a guitarist. They had a synth guy, and it was awesome.
And
it was a
own
lot
weird.
of fun.
They own their weird, but I liked it.
That's awesome.
Who was the one band? It was it's totally escaping me. I got hooked up with them from U-Bred Raptors, who were I think the first U-Bred Raptors show was a Wednesday. And they are the perfect example, except maybe Night of the Round. But U-Bred Raptors is one of those bands where the first show, there were 20 people. And the next show there were 40. And then next there was 80.
Oh, yeah.
And we just did the last U-Bred Raptors we did on a weekday, and there were close to 100 people in here because
It's a great name.
the word of mouth just spread so hard. Like that, what I was alluding is Night of the Round is that way too. Like they have a really, really excellent following, no matter when the fuck they come.
Yeah.
What are we on now?
Probably the best smell one,
Ooh.
as far as when you smell it. But it's the
Oh my
is
goodness!
this?
it's
The,
the blood orange,
yellow dwarf.
Yeah,
All right.
this one smell is just fantastic. Again, you can look at it and tell light and color.
You can see right through it.
Fantastic.
I'm just going to add
summer
this to my
beer.
pint because that's what I'm drinking.
This
That
one's really good.
And
that's
it's
excellent.
just
It's
so
very
good.
it's subtle.
And the scent. straight up just gives you that orangey kind of.
Oh yeah.
If you've ever smelled a blood orange, that's what this beer smells like.
That's probably one of my right now favorite flavors to any beer is the blood orange game.
Oh yeah, yeah. That from my perception, kind of came in a couple years ago, and I just fucking love them.
Because BrewDog has one that's really good.
Yes.
Blood orange tangerine or?
Oh no, it's not a blood orange. It's called Clockwork Tangerine.
That's right.
And
yeah, that one's good.
That shit's
Peoples
good.
did the blood orange one, didn't they?
Yeah, Peoples did the blood orange.
Oh
face
my
combo.
god.
That they murdered.
Oh yeah, I met Nick at Peoples one day. Him and Cody Clem went there, and then I showed up with our friend Creed.
We were lit.
And he was already like starting to feel good. He was like on his your second one when I got there?
I had 2 beers, then tried the blood orange, and then I drank 3 of those. And it's a 9%, isn't it?
I think it's like a 10%.
It's a big boy.
Like a 9-10%. It's a huge one. And I get there, and I order their Phantom Assassin, which is a
White IPA?
White IPA, which is good. It's a solid beer. But I get it, and then Nick goes, "You messed up." I'm like, "What?" He's like, and he handed me his beer and had me try it, and I tasted it. I'm like, immediately, yeah, I messed up.
So then he ordered the blood orange, and I said, "I bet you can't finish that beer."
The waitress, she goes, "But you just got your beer," and I'm like, "I'll finish it before you get back." And Nick goes, "I bet you can't," and I go, "I bet you I will." I was like, "Go get that beer and come back, and I'll be done." And
I recorded it. 7 seconds.
7 seconds down.
That's the Ron Swanson comment. I know what I'm about, son.
I know more than you.
I know more than you.
That hyped up the whole group. We
were off to the races. That was the night Austin ran into the bathroom when I was pooping, taking a video, and so he runs out and he's laughing, and I fucking finish my business, and I run out of the bathroom and tackle him.
He straight up Goldberg speared me into his door.
We were
wrestling hard.
We were way past the line of sanity at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
It was wild. Hey, Keegan. Might as well walk up here.
Mr. Car Door Dick Smash yourself.
I mean, I guess you could. Yeah. There's a camera right there. Want to wave?
You can get your face in there, yep.
There's Keegan.
Sure.
Sure.
Pull up a squat.
While we're on the subject of blood orange, there's a band in Illinois that I've been following for a couple years now called Heartsick, and they actually have their own signature beer through Starving Artist Brewing Company up in Michigan.
Nice.
And it's called Blood Forge, and it's a blood orange one. I'd really like to check that company out. I've been following them for a little bit.
Actually, you can have my busted knuckle if you want.
It seems that they just find bands and they give them like their own signature beer.
I don't.
That's part of my business model.
Yeah, shut your mouth.
Something
Dick.
What?
I said shut your mouth, Dick. Don't get me too good.
Don't give me too many ideas. So Weeby's working on. We haven't decided if it's 2 full lengths or 3 EPs, but it's 9 songs, and we are working on a beer for each song.
I think you told me this before, and that's awesome.
I'm super, super stoked for that. And we're legitimately trying. It's such a strange thing about creativity is we're trying to create the beer to match the song, and it's been working. Like you listen to the song, and it's like, yeah, this is a stout.
This beer really pairs well with this song.
That sounds really like hipster-esque.
I know.
Yeah,
but it sounds like
so
it sounds
cool
like
at the
I'm gonna
same time.
hate it, but it. I don't know. It sounds good too.
This stout really pairs well with.
It's weird because we would sit there and we start talking about it, and for the most part, we would go like song number 1. We look at each other like, yeah, that's the New England, and we both just like, yeah.
Were you the one that told me about the person that when they recorded each song, they painted their room
Angel
a
Vivaldi.
different color?
Between you guys, I feel like this is just a weird spot.
No, you're good.
You're good.
I just have to get up on the mic for people
It's
to
for
hear
you.
me.
It's for you.
Just put it on.
Just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Angel Vivaldi. He did an album where every song was. I'm going to get this wrong. A chemical.
Oh my god.
Well, would serotonin be a chemical? Is that what you would call that?
Serotonin.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a
Isn't that what
chemical
your body
released by the brain.
So every song on the album is a different chemical, and you can associate the different chemicals with what am I trying to say here?
Feelings?
With feelings and behavior and
Effects.
whatnot. And so, I mean, a lot of people probably I associate blue with calmness, red with anger and stuff. So what he would do is in his studio, he would repaint the room to match, to get into the mood to write the song.
The album art was
It
very
sounds like
colorful.
that wall is thick with
Dude, I
paint.
painted my living room and it took like 3 days.
2
I
C's.
would not repaint the studio for every
3
song.
C's.
That's what I said. If you've ever painted,
So how's that,
painting
busted
sucks.
knuckle in there?
Like it
I
sucks.
thought
I
it
haven't
would be
started it
cool,
yet.
and I was like,
I want to
hit
say
it yet?
Everything.
Oh, you're
in the
finishing your
bowling alley and in
blood orange.
here, it sucks.
I really like that. That's
Especially
probably gonna be
'cause
what I
it's
get
on a ladder.
Frankfurt.
It sucked.
Yeah,
yeah, you can
I
only get
forfeited
a small
my
spot and then you got to move it
porter.
all.
And the wires and all that, yeah. When I was done painting, I feel so bad for people that do that for a living because it sucks.
Painting is fucking awful.
Terrible.
No, I enjoy
So
painting.
we're getting ready to jump into the busted knuckle,
Yep.
robust porter,
You're good, dude. I did that earlier. It was.
Yeah.
chink chink.
Well, there was
chink.
like earlier they were talking
Yeah, I'll
about
just
a beer and then
choose
just
my
slamming a pint and then they're
Why aren't you
like,
drinking?
I was like, dude, I drank the whole
Oh,
sample. you guys
I
are
forfeited
pints.
mine so Keegan could have one. 'Cause I'm a
How
nice
kind.
guy.
For those of you still watching on Facebook, we're still doing our Lafayette Brews and Bowling ticket giveaway. All you have to do is comment saying hashtag Brews and Bowling Fest. Do it. That's Saturday,
That's-
June 1st.
You know,
We're doing an early bird special. The first 50 tickets are only $30. Then it goes up to, I believe, $35,
and then
and then 40 day of.
yes.
We got DD tickets and whatnot, so
Also, if you want to volunteer
DD
too,
tickets, what, $10?
we're looking for a couple volunteers. We need a variety of volunteers. There's some breweries that aren't able to bring their own personnel, so we figured out a cool way to be able to get them involved anyway. And we're looking for a couple. I'm going to use the word passionate individuals who would be interested in. Like, I would give you the name of a brewery, and you would delve into their business and try to understand them so that you could represent them. And then they'll send the beer, and then we'll have.
You'd be your own personal R&D for that brewery.
Yeah, we're going wild with it. So, yeah, if you're interested, let us know. Saturday, June 1st.
yeah, this porter's good.
It is really
I forget
good.
Who said? Who chimed in? Was that Ruiz?
That was John Ruiz Jr. said their porter was fire.
Is he talking about the busted knuckle or
Yes.
the peanut butter?
I want to
just
say
the
he's
standard.
talking about the busted knuckle.
Yeah,
'cause
just the
that
regular.
was
Is the peanut butter
It's one of their most
busted
well-known.
knuckle?
Yeah.
I like that, where we just use the same
Yeah, like they have the 6 foot
same
blonde.
recipe, but like this one's gonna be peanut butter.
Yeah, they have the 6 foot blonde, then the 6 foot strawberry blonde, and they have the busted knuckle, and then they have the peanut butter busted knuckle.
This is great. These guys are from Nashville, Indiana, which I believe we determined.
Indiana?
Nashville, Indiana.
Wow.
I mean, there's a Portland, Indiana.
Yeah, there's also Mexico.
Yeah, you're right.
There's
Brazil.
a Mexico.
There's an
Indiana.
entire country.
There's
I
a
love
Santa Claus, Indiana.
Santa Claus French
Yep.
Lick.
It's
Yeah.
where Jay Cutler's from.
Yeah, fuck Jay Cutler. I hate Jay Cutler.
He's my hero.
There's a legitimate
If he fight
not in a
me,
good way.
I would fight him. That's real.
I'd watch it.
somewhere in southern
I would
Indiana.
root for you.
Yeah, if Jay Cutler's out there, if he'll fight me, I'll fight him.
Jay Cutler's my
Wow,
spirit
much I
animal.
hate him.
He's my spirit animal.
I've
I
never
hate
seen
Jay Cutler.
I've never seen Casey this
yeah.
fired up.
I mean, I would root for
he's ready to
Casey.
fight.
Yeah,
We'll
damn.
fight him.
Yeah, I'm a general nice guy, but I'm also a huge Bears fan, and fuck that guy. When he was traded, it was April 1st, and I thought it was a joke. I thought my brother was joking with me, and then as he kept saying each thing that the Bears traded on top of, I didn't even want him for Kyle Orton straight up, and they traded multiple first round. It ended up being just a complete disaster.
An absolute
And,
just shit
yeah,
show.
and I just, if he would fight me, I would fight him.
You
What was everybody's favorite April Fool's joke that you saw this year?
the Macy Williams on the Tonight Show.
That was good. That was
I
good.
was convinced for a
Yeah.
second.
I was absolutely convinced. Like,
and legitimately did not expect them to just say April Fools. I was like,
I was hoping
just
for it,
happened?
and when they did, I went through, as I've been telling the guys I work with that watch Game of Thrones, and I talked to them about it, but for the last 4, 5, 6 years, that I went through every stage of emotion, full through. I was just absolute shock. I was
Angry.
denial. I was getting angry. I was getting hurt. And I was just really sad.
Then you tried bargaining,
just going through it, and I was just trying to I was starting to go into denial, and then I was just absolute acceptance and depression, and then when they came out and said April Fools, there was just absolute relief and just thank you. I almost cried a little bit. I was so happy that it was April
Brandon
Fools.
Stone told me, he's like, "Did you see the April Fool's joke they pulled on Jimmy Fallon?" I'm like, "No," and he starts telling me about it, and in the process of telling me the whole thing, I forget that he started with, remember that, did you see that April Fool's joke? So I thought it was real the whole time. So I got punked.
You got punked.
I got punked. And I already knew.
I feel like a lot of people are over dramatic when they say stuff like, "I'm not ready for this." I'm just so not. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for it. And I mean it very sincerely that I'm not ready emotionally for I bet you a good chunk of those characters are going to die.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be weird.
On Game of Thrones.
That's honestly, I mean, that was one of the things that made it an interesting show to me, where it was I was spoiled about the Ned Stark thing because Sean Bean dies in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the joke that continued. But the Red Wedding, I did not see it coming at all.
We just rewatched. We
the
rewatched
second Red
everything.
Wedding was great.
And the Red Wedding,
The Purple Wedding.
Yeah, I can
the
honestly
Purple
say
Wedding. That's what they
when
call
the
it.
Red
Mauve.
Wedding went down is probably a top 5 shock TV moment in my life, where I wish I had a picture of myself, because it was just everybody's just what? I mean, that was just it was weird to rewatch it because they were such huge characters watching it the first time, and rewatching it, it's these people are all dead, they're irrelevant.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of stuff, they're all, fodder.
There aren't
It was
too
so
many.
satisfying though, because I legitimately Rob would do things, and I'm like, that was dumb, dog. And I hated Catelyn.
No, they deserved it. They got it. I mean, it was
So it was hard to feel
yeah.
bad. I was like, oh shit, a bunch of characters that I don't fucking like. And I love the Starks. The Starks are my favorite, besides maybe the Targaryens. So it has you going all over the place. What I really like, the last thing, I'm sorry guys, is very first episode, Jaime, who's fucking his sister, pushes a child out a window, and you're like, most evil dude in the whole fucking world.
Fuck this guy.
Not even 6, almost 4 or 5 seasons later, you're cheering for Jaime. And that's part of his story
You're like,
arc,
I
honestly.
fucking
It's
love
not
this guy.
they have a way of making you go yeah, this is still the dude fucking his sister, by the way.
Yeah.
Just so you know. He's still the guy that
He's
threw a
also
kid out the window.
still kind of an asshole here and there.
So we got a question from the viewers at home. Is Quaff On going to be at Tap for Taft tomorrow?
I do not know. I have the list.
I'm unsure of that either.
Yeah, I don't have the list for.
I never got a list.
I do know, if you guys want to go check it out, one thing they did that was really awesome was they dropped off 50 passes for a free tour of their distillery and brewery. And we go to Columbus a lot, so it's only 30 minutes straight west. So one of these Fridays that we go down and do a release, I might just get a 10-passenger, 12-passenger van and see if people want to go down and check out this brewery. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool of them.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And if people do want those, we have 50 or 60. So if there's any reason that anyone's going through Nashville, Indiana, or what is it, Brown County?
Yes.
Hit us up, let us know.
So we have one more beer?
Yeah, we're on the
Busted Knuckle.
peanut butter busted knuckle.
Another good smell one.
Let's get in it.
Yes, this was my
Frank,
favorite.
I thought-
Yeah, dude, Keegan just keeps. I
was like,
I keep passing beers to Keegan, and he just smashes
Yeah,
it.
this has got a
That
caramel
is
scent.
interesting.
That
It
is
was
my
great.
favorite smell ever.
See, I love Nutter Cup, and it's sweet. This has got more.
It
bite.
smells just like
Yeah.
it
This
tastes.
got more bite.
This
Yeah.
kind of has that. It almost tastes like a chocolate Rolo that's alcoholic,
Yes.
Yep.
or a peanut butter Rolo. That's
In the mall.
It's got a little
alcoholic.
burnt to it too.
Yeah.
Like
in a good way.
Yeah.
Roasted.
It's
Roasted.
slow roast.
That's the word.
Roasted is.
That's
we're
the
talking
word.
about the peanuts that
Roasted.
went down on this peanut butter were slow roasted. Oh.
Slow roasted peanut
So
butter.
you're very
drizzled
familiar with the
caramel,
mall and the history
brewed
of the
into
stores
beer.
within the mall.
I am.
Wasn't there like a coffee place, like a straight up like you go in there and it's like
J.L.
a store?
Hufford.
Yeah.
Yeah, J.L.
What
Hufford.
was the one that was there before that? That was
Oh, J.L. Hufford was there in the 90s, dude. I worked in the mall in 93.
it was
This
right there next
reminds
to
me
that
of
place
that,
that
like,
cut
smelling
hair
it.
in between the baseball card shop and the it was like Great Clips or something, but there was that coffee shop right there. It was real narrow.
Dude, you're thinking of J.L. Hufford.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
that J.L. Hufford?
Yeah. Because they also, J.L. Hufford got moved like 6 times.
Yeah.
What's the place
Yeah.
downtown?
Java
City.
Roaster?
Java Roaster. Yeah, it's reminding me of that too. Like that's just the sense.
I'm not sure how I feel about this one.
Oh, I like it.
I like it.
Taste
think I
wise, I'm
liked
not a
it.
fan.
It's
but
not
I
like
can sit
Nutter
and
Cup at all.
smell it all day.
At all.
That's what I like
That's
about
such an
it.
interesting thing that you're able to have different
Peanut butter porters.
peanut butter porters that taste. I don't know. We've used a lot of good adjectives, but we haven't found the one that I'm thinking of. I don't want to say it because it's almost a dirty word.
Candy corner.
No.
Keegan just throwing random shit out. Like,
Yeah.
I actually
I
thought
love that.
Yeah. That's not a bad
I
assessment.
want to say,
Caramel or something?
yes, Patrick.
I didn't really realize it was
Quaff
peanut
On
butter.
Brews Busted Knuckle.
I'm gonna say it. I'm
Actually,
sorry.
Now that you say it, I kind of.
I think it
Like I couldn't really pin. It wasn't like obvious peanut. It was
artificial.
Kind
No, this kind of reminds me of a Werther's original.
I don't know.
Like if you got like one of those chocolate peanut butter Werther's original, it's just got that like. It gives you that weird nostalgia kind of taste in the back of it.
Nick's gonna drink 6 of these tonight. I'm just gonna keep looking over. Playing
he's gonna have
Smash
that-
Bros.
he's gonna have that same
drinking
look the
and
whole
time,
just
just
kinda-
look at his face, just like, do I? What
And he's just
is
gonna
that?
keep like looking off like,
Yeah.
of, oh, it's gross.
why do I
That's
keep
what
drinking
it is.
this?
I
Yeah.
keep looking around the room thinking that the answer's hiding on top of something. Like, what does this taste like?
No, it's right there in that 007 machine. You have to hit.
Pinball.
I
You
look.
have to hit $500 million on it, and then you'll find out.
Okay, cool, sweet. I was thinking I was gonna have to go pull out one of the light bulbs and look inside and see if it's hiding.
No,
in there.
you gotta hit the dish on every ball and hit $500 million.
Excellent.
But I liked it. It's definitely, I mean, Nutter Cup's one of my favorite beers. Like, I love Nutter Cup. And it's a whole
Absolutely.
different
Yeah.
kind of peanut butter porter.
That was Nutter Cup was one of those beers that got me into craft beer. I would say, like it's one thing to have a good stout or a good IPA. It's like, what does that taste like? I don't know. It's beer. It tastes like beer. And then someone was like, dude, this tastes like beer, but it also tastes like peanut butter. And that wasn't a thing to me yet. Where you could have such distinct adjuncts, I guess is what I'm going for. Like the blood orange. Shit like that. I think I like it. I don't know.
I like it.
You're right. I'm going to drink more.
I don't think I could have a whole pint of it. It'd be something
Yeah.
I'd split, just because a lot of beers like this is not something like I'll enjoy them, but I'm definitely not going to be looking to drink a bunch of it, just because like these more flavorful ones just come off as too sweet to me.
Yeah.
That's why it's nice they gave us the glassware. I always like those sifter glassware for that reason. Because
It's
there's
good for-
sometimes that there's beers that like I really like at about 8 or 10 ounces, but a full pint. Southern Tier Cinnamon Roll was like that.
Yeah.
Like, about 8 or 10 ounces, really liked it. If I had to smash a whole pint,
I
a little bit much.
Smashed a full pint of that when you guys had them. I just remember ordering one and I was like, yeah, this would be pretty sweet. I took like one sip and I'm like, this is really good. And then a few more and I was like, this is really strong. Really sweet.
Which one was
You know what?
that?
I'm just gonna hang
Cinnamon
out.
Roll.
I have a sweet
I
tooth.
like the
So
Samoa. That
That was gone.
that
yeah,
one's gone.
that did not last.
I think I helped finish that last Friday because
gone.
I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons I was trashed, because that thing was
That's-
12.5%.
To me, that's the appeal of at least our style of tap takeovers. I don't know if other people do it, but the way that we do it is you can walk in and get a good chunk sample of everything. You don't need to buy the pint. You can try fucking everything. That's the point. Same thing with beer festivals. I mean, some people look at it as like, oh, I get to go get drunk as fuck, yay. Which is, I mean, a good thing and all. But the point is to be able to just, like, that sounds good. Take a sip. you don't need to have a whole fucking pint. You know,
I just
anything-
need a little taster glass.
If we ever have anything on draft, you're always welcome to sample it here.
and that's and fuck. At this point, I feel like we don't have a lot of stuff that sticks around because
Well, that's
we're
what's been
always
fun, yeah.
finding new beer. So you've got you've got your Coors, you've got your Peavers, you've got all that shit. But we pretty consistently down here every week or two have brand new beer.
Well, yeah, we have bowlers that bowl every week in leagues here, and they're beer drinkers, and that's what they love is every week they'll just come up and they'll literally just say, like Casey or Sam, like, what it is this week. Like, what's new? What's the specialty?
What it is.
do.
Yeah.
It is. That just is.
What's back there? What's new?
And it's fun.
I've done that before.
Because a lot of people don't do that. A lot of places, that's part of the problem, is a lot of places you go to and you look in the cooler or you look on tap and it's the standard. It's the same stuff all the time, and you have to pick whatever beer you have there. And there's any given week, like right now, we're so beer rich back there.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
I had to redo my menu, and I had to actually separate it into pages.
I kind of want to go back and look in your cooler to see, like,
Oh, it's wild. And his distributors will come in and bring like samples. So the next episode we do is going to be just a bunch of samples. So
Heretic, we have a Heretic in Cigar City. Cigar City just came last week. They're out of Tampa, so I just got those samples. So that's something else cool about listening to Brews with Dudes episodes is from a distributor standpoint, a lot of these beers like Toppling Goliath just came to Indiana this month. My reps now know that we do this show, so anytime there's new beers, they normally are like, hey, get this on your podcast.
Yeah.
This is new
that's
to
cool.
Indiana right now.
That's
and Cigar
really cool.
City just came out Monday. It's a brewery out of Tampa.
And we got it.
And we got
for,
it.
we got it.
For people listening right now, if you're not aware, we've had a couple times. This is we've done about 80 episodes now, and every now and again, less than 5 times, I want to say less than 3, we'll have a repeat. Where we just consider ourselves, we're hanging out, like we've done the episode with all our new beers, and then we're like, oh, well, we'll drink this one that we've already had. So what that means, usually we have at least 4 beers. Sometimes we have 5 or 6. We have done, I think our record is 8 or 9.
I think our record is.
So
9.
now look at that. We'll just go with the 4. 4 beers every episode, 80 episodes. In the past year, we've drank 300 different beers.
Well, dude,
For the sake of it. Just like, like I do the same thing with coffee. And like salsa. I try not to buy the same salsa twice.
That reminds me, I have a bunch of coffee to give you.
I knew it was good when we were talking about episodes, and we actually, Dayton, Indiana has a really good liquor store, and it's by our house. And we went out there, and I was like walking through, and it's an amazing liquor store. And I couldn't believe how many
Trade secrets, dude.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how many that we had. Yeah, that's it. It's over.
Join us next week on Brews with Dudes.
Gotcha. Head fake.
Head fake.
Well, shit.
Gotcha.
We did so much talking tonight.
We did a
It
bunch.
was some good conversation.
I like talking.
yes.
So let's go around and tell the viewers and listeners what we thought was our favorite. You know, Dick?
The peanut butter for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd go with the yellow dwarf, the blood orange.
That one was
Like that smell.
that one was killer.
That'd be my second. Yeah.
It was between that and the strawberry blonde. I do like the peanut butter, but with it summer coming up, dude, it just
The blondes were my 2 least favorite.
yeah.
Yeah.
They were very light.
I enjoyed them. The strawberry blonde, I actually enjoyed this sample, as we discussed earlier, that the first one just felt thick. It was a flavor. It wasn't like the beer itself. The flavor just felt like thick and kind of like too like lubricated.
That's how I
wanna
felt about
say.
the peanut butter. That was good. That was a good way to put it. Thick.
One thing like I've noticed about all of these they all have a really light mouthfeel, and I like a thick, like heavy mouthfeel.
Yeah, you do.
Oh yeah, I do.
Wow. I think I would probably go with the blood orange too. Second to the strawberry. I really like the strawberry.
As you can tell, because I've been I added my blood orange to my pint of blood orange. This one's got to be my number one for this. I do like the busted knuckle. I didn't actually drink it on the show because I let Keegan have it, and because I'm a nice guy.
Thank you.
And I enjoyed that one. That was like my first introduction to Quaff On, so I got a special place in my heart for it because I'm a stouts porter guy. But yeah, I like this. That peanut butter one was good. But yeah, they're all good. It's just this one stood out the most to me.
Yeah, I would definitely order any one of them again.
Yeah.
The first one, what was it called? 6 Foot Blonde?
Yeah, they're standard.
That was pretty
Basic
standard.
beer, yeah.
Pretty standard.
But solid shower beer.
Solid, yeah. You know, like if it was, I would take that over a Coors or a Peeber or something.
Well,
It's
I
going to
think
give me the
that's what they're
same.
going through. It's almost like the Founder Solid Gold. Like it's their own standard beer that if you go there and you're just trying to...
So viewing it like that, I would say that that's one of the better. Like when a brewery tries to do the thing that's going to appeal to your average person.
To your dad's.
The 6 Foot Blonde was the best
Dad
beer that I've had.
No, it's real. If
Dude,
you
I
go to some of
love
these
dad
breweries,
beers.
there's always the person that goes with you, and they're absolutely not going to try
Oh,
anything
yeah. I mean,
crazy.
my
They
dad's
want
the same
a
way.
beer,
Yeah.
and it's like, this would be theirs. And
So
it was good.
bravo when you're able to have someone who likes
Beer.
craft
Yeah.
beer say like,
That-
okay, I can see where that would appeal to, Grandpa, but it's also not too bad for myself.
Yeah. No, I've actually had that incident where I've been somewhere with my dad, actually, and he's like, I don't know what the fuck any of these beers are. He's like, what am I going to order that's not going to be fucking stupid and full of flour? And I'm like,
Full of flour.
And you just
or
add
flowers, because most people that aren't used to IPAs and stuff, they taste the flowery stuff to it. He's
My
like,
friend, my
what can
friend
I drink
Alan
that's
said the
actually
same
going to be
thing
a
when I
beer?
was bringing Yum Yum over.
But my
and
dad's got that mouth on
He's
him.
I
like,
never liked Yum
you and your
Yum.
flower beer. And I'm like,
Yum
what the
Yum is-
fuck are you
Yum Yum
talking
is
about?
weird.
This is good shit. Yum Yum's
It's like
okay.
dandelions is what I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what though? A lot of IPAs are like bad, and they give other ones a bad name. Can I say
Yeah.
that here? Is this
There
bad?
are
yeah,
there
don't
are
say
I
that.
don't feel like there's too many breweries. It's like really
There's-
hot.
there's tons
For the last
of
5
IPAs.
Yeah.
We've talked about that where like we've all gone through our part where at one point we did not like IPAs and eventually some other IPA got
You
us
have-
back into it and then
Like, I
you
think
start.
You have-
Two Hearted was one of my first, and I still think it's my favorite.
Yes,
I hate it.
Two Hearted is
50
one of the
others,
best
and every other one
beers
is
ever
just
made.
like sometimes it just tastes like random flowers and dandelions. Like there's not even a.
There's so many different things to go for.
I love
like,
IPAs. I don't
They'll
like.
put like 30 things into it, and they're like, "Oh, it tastes everything." And I'm
Some
like,
some people are into the bitterness,
Yeah.
and I'm not.
kinda like
So
that.
from the hops, you can make a really bitter beer, or you can make a floral beer. And I really like the floral
Yeah.
aspect. And you can get the thing about hops, and I don't know how, and I couldn't explain it very well, but you're able to get fruit esters. So you could brew a beer with the right hops, and it tastes like mango.
That
Why?
Pompeii one.
I have no fucking idea. That's just
Pompeii had that
fucking
almost
clue.
like grapefruit.
Grapefruit.
Look, and it had
Grapefruit
a
is-
grapefruit taste.
very prominent.
And they just took, what was it, like Mosaic, Citra, and something else. Boom.
And they just
You
were
get a
able to just
grapefruit
pull
taste out of
all
it.
that out of just hops.
The fun thing about brewing is you can get as scientific as you want, and there's no end. And you could do things down to a science, and like, I'm going to mix these two hops to create this taste. And then you've got the brewing that I do, where you just do whatever the fuck you want. Like, this sounds like it'll be good, let's do that. And you can get equally good results, So, this is a fun episode.
Yeah.
Everyone
Fun
have their
episode.
2 cents?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's wrap it up then. I'll go ahead and
Yeah.
for the rest of the night, if you find yourself watching this and you use the hashtag Brews and Bowling Fest, we'll announce the winner of the ticket giveaway tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. Patrick Mulligan says it's amazing though how different the variation of hops are. Yes, absolutely. It's like spices in the kitchen. There's a million different things that you could do. Yeah, we could talk about this forever.
Something else, we are going to have some hop farmers out there as well.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
That's going to be a little twist. We're going to have some people
That's
that
cool.
farm some hops at it as well.
Yep. Cool. Well, thank you, Dongo,
Yeah.
Keegan, jumping in late, Casey, Austin. This was really fun.
Yes.
Thank you to Quaff On. they gave us a bunch of cool swag and stuff. So if you catch yourself down at the North End Pub, I'm sure if you asked Casey or Sam real nice, they would they'd run back and grab you some of this stuff. Maybe cups.
We got some glassware for sure.
Couple shirts maybe. I need to look at those. Already snagged a hat. All right. Well, thanks to you once again. Thank you to the Journey into Comics Network for hosting us. You can catch the audio of this podcast on Apple Music, Spotify, Podbean. From what I've been told by the Podfather himself, anywhere you go to listen to a podcast, chances are we're on there. You'll want to look up Journey into Comics or Journey into Comics Network, and you'll find us from there. Thank you guys once again, and we'll see you next time on another episode of Brews with Dudes.